What's up? What's up? Give me a to get right here. Let me get right. Gotta get right. Let me turn off my headphones. Let me get me straight. Let me get me straight real quick. I ain't bring my hat. So what's going on, y'all? It's Carter. You know what I'm saying? Vibe Clothing presents. So what's going on? So it's time for a change, right? So let's go. Let's go. People, what is change? Exactly what it is. It's not what you go to the store and you get when you break a dollar. It's not that. I mean, it is, but it ain't. So let's find out what it is. If you stand by somebody long enough and they tell you, sorry, I need change, what they're saying is they need you to do more. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with somebody needing you to do more. What I'm doing right now is changing. Ever since I've been going through what I was going through, I hit like, I don't want to call it depression, but I hit like a downslope. I drank a lot of soda, and I'm not even a soda drinking person. So now I'm flushing out my system. So let me tell you what change is. Change is when you really want, and it's when you really want something great to happen, and you're just staying stagnant. That's change. Like I decided that I wanted change, and because I was used to a certain thing in my life happening every time something went wrong, I had to change my thought. See, a lot of people don't realize like change starts with the thought process first, right? You got to think about how to change, then you change, and then everything falls into place, right? What happens when you're changing and the other people around you are still the same? You don't get away from them, but you also tell them like, I'm moving in a different direction. I'm actually moving in a direction that requires me to at some point get rid of you. Carter, what about if I'm trying to be the best man I can be in this relationship I'm in? Let me explain it to you. When you are changing from the old you, no, not the old you, your old ways to better ways, you're going to find out very, very quickly that not everybody's going to for the new way of life that you're doing. They're gonna be like, oh man, really? We out here having fun, dog. You doing this, you doing that. You have to want to see a better way of life. A man who has a bunch of women is not a man that's changing for the better. A woman who has a bunch of men is not changing for the better. At some point, you have to sit back and say, I love me and I love this person, and the change I want to happen is a universal oneness. Let's talk about people who change when they find God, right? I don't know how they find God because he wasn't lost, but he was lost to them. I was always told that. Don't say people he wasn't lost, he was just lost to them. God opens our eyes and our heart and our understanding so we can be better individuals to ourselves first. Because he said charity begins at home, then it spreads abroad, right? You want to be clear on some things. If you're happy and you see a person that you want to be happy with the rest of your life, the change is to tell that person like, yo, this is what you're doing that's making me unhappy. And I know I'm nagging you about it, but I need to see changing. Okay, well, most people gonna give you this answer. Why are you asking me to change all the time and you're still the same? Why is it only okay for me to change but you're staying the same? People, that's a logical question. It deserves a logical answer. When a person asks you that question, it's because they watched you dog them out mentally. I'd rather somebody put physical harm on me than kill me mentally, right? You have to stop telling a person, this is what I want for you, but instead say, this is what I want for us. I want. I want. That's not a us, that's a you. The change is when people say, well, what are you doing to make things better for me? Nothing. Because if I'm doing it for you, I'm doing it for the wrong reason. What will I do to make it better for us? Is sit down and have a conversation with you. So I can really get you to understand, like, I love you enough to know that I don't want to argue. I love you enough to know is I don't want to fight. I love you enough to know is I don't want to be without you, and I don't want you to be without me. See, I love you enough to know that. But also love you enough to know that I deserve to be happy and smile too. You ever see somebody who just says it's all about me? Do it for me. You should be doing it for me. Like, yo, that ass, like, this shirt got me sweating and I don't understand. But anyway, you have to be prepared for the truth. Sometimes a man needs to just hear the truth. Like, he needs a real woman around him to tell him the truth. Not to nag him, but to tell him the truth. Whenever you nag a man, he's like, I want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear nagging. I want to hear the truth. Like, hey, listen, I see the man you can be. Just like women. We see the woman you can become. But let me tell you, I can't tell you how to get there. But I can tell you I'm here for you. I'm here for the ride. But you can't keep walking away. See, walking away and starting fresh with somebody else, that's easy. That's the easiest thing in the world. But to stand together and battle it out through the good and the bad time, that's when you know that got something special. See, the trust zone is a mug. People call that the TZ, trust zone. Because you have to understand when a person is really trying and another person isn't, the other person after a while gonna stop trying too. That don't mean they don't love you. That just means, like, listen, I want something too. One thing a man and a woman should never say to each other is, I want to see what's out there. You never want to hear that from the person that's supposed to love you. Because now you plant the seed of doubt forever. It's just facts. I love the fact that I love to be happy. I told my homeboy the other day, I said, you know why you miserable? Because you like to be miserable. You like to walk around with this look on your face that says, I'm miserable. I want to be happy for life, not for tonight. You gotta just look at people sometimes and say, what can I do to make my life better for us? One thing people say is, get off social media. Social media ain't got nothing to do with my relationship. It got something to do with you. Right? Now, if you're giving social media time more than you're giving your man or your woman, then yeah. But if you're sitting there saying, you want me off social media because it makes you feel uncomfortable, yet you have a social media page that you say you didn't have, then you look at people and say, nah. Some people say, well, we need to have a page together. That's called babysitting, y'all. Sometimes that's great to have together so y'all can have that trust bond, but sometimes you need your own space with it. Now, you should be able to be trusted. A lot of people be like, man, Carter,
Sometimes my girl be nagging me for nothing. No, she's not. She's not nagging you for nothing. Fool. You just didn't pay attention. She's nagging you for something. Something she told you didn't register to you. She told you, this is making me unhappy. She told you, I want to try to see if we can do this. And you took it as, here she go again. You failed to realize that she wasn't trying to run you. She was trying to make you a better person for her, for yourself. Women, when a man tells you, I love you and I want to build with you, but tell me what I'm doing wrong, and you say, you should know what you're doing wrong. If we knew, we wouldn't ask you. If we knew, we wouldn't ask you. Women say, I want loyalty, honesty, love, peace. Y'all want a lot for a person who ain't giving it back. Don't tell us what you want from us and you ain't giving it back. Men, don't tell your woman, I just want a woman to be here, because that's all she gonna do is be there. Now, you want a woman that's gonna solidify you as a person. You want a woman that's gonna love you through your ups and your downs, through your rich and your poor times. You want they put that in your vows through sickness and health, rich or poor. Right? I'm telling y'all, when I get married, my wife has no worries. None. Because that woman is going to be everything I need and more. And I'm learning as I read about, ain't nothing wrong with reading. I read a book called How to Treat a Woman Correctly. And when you're a person who's done everything backwards, when something comes into your existence, it's different. Oh, nephew Donovan. Hold on, man. It's my nephew Donovan, y'all. He been needing some advice. Call him right back. Like, like I tell them all the time, like, pay your phone bill, stop using Wi-Fi to, you know. But when you've been doing everything in reverse, like when all you know is bad habits, it's hard to break them sometimes. But when you finally break them, you realize in your head, like, I'm not going through this anymore. I'm not going to treat people like this any longer. I'm better than that. As we try to grow, right, it becomes relevant that we want the same things. We just say it differently, but we want the exact same things, right? What's wrong with a man shedding a tear in front of his woman? He's frustrated. What's wrong with him venting to his woman? He's frustrated. He should be able to come to you. You're supposed to be his best friend, his right hand, right? He should be able to cry. He should be able to come to you, hug you, and just ball out tears without you saying, look at this sucker, right? Because if he can do that with you, he don't need to do that with nobody else, because he has everything he needs through you. You don't stop talking to him. You don't say figure it out, because if he could figure it out, he wouldn't break down in tears for you, right? So why not tell him it's okay to lean on me? You don't got to go nowhere. Just lean on me. If you feel like you really about to break down and it's about to be a problem, just lean on me. Men, when your woman has been at work all day and she's at work and she just wants to call you to talk to you, let her. Be like, babe, hold on. Laugh. Go back to when y'all used to laugh. Before all the BS started, go back to when y'all used to laugh. Just get in your car together and just go for a drive. Just y'all two. Just go for a drive. See, because what it took for y'all to be happy is what it's going to take for y'all to sustain happiness. You understand what I'm saying? What it took for you to be happy is what it's going to take for you to sustain happiness. We look at what other people have. Some of the richest friends I got are miserable. Some of the richest friends I got are miserable. But we wouldn't know it because they don't broadcast their business. You feel me? They don't broadcast their business. When you and that person know each other from laughing, that's the part that we miss in life, the laughter. Because we spend so much time trying to figure out where did it go. It left when you stopped communicating. Let's talk about how to get back to loving yourself and the person that you only want to spend the rest of your life with. It's one step. Actually, it's two steps. The first step is give it all to God. Give it all to God. God got all the answers. God got all the answers. And he'll guide you. One time, I was sitting there and God says, this person is going to call you today and give you the knowledge that I told them to give you. And it happened. If we never fall, how do we know how to get back up? See, when I fall, don't leave me down there. Put your hand and raise me back up and tell me I got you. Better yet, I got us. You feel me? People will always be envious and jealous of God's children, chosen ones, because you're doing it the right way instead of their way. To look at a person and say, this person is like this. Had I known that, I'd have never got around them. That's not true. Because God placed that person in your life to show you that you weren't perfect. They brought something out of you. They brought something to the table. You just didn't understand what it was. Right? If I can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, then what? Nothing else can bother me. But if I walk through the valley of the shadow of death with the person who's supposed to be right beside me, nothing can harm me. Because 4 eyes is better than 2 any day. You can look to either side, front, back. We got each other's back. We want each other to grow. We want to win together. Never give up on something that's real. Never give up on something that's real. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on a person that you know has the greatest potential in the world. You just got to help bring it out of them so they know they're not alone. That's a big thing. If you value y'all's love, then the changes that come with that are simple. Babe, we need this. Love, we need that. To understand a person is to enter into what they're going through. Let me say it again. To understand someone is to enter into what they're going through. I used to tell people all the time, my homies, man, I got your back when you're good. I got my back when I'm good. I need you to have my back when I ain't at my best. You understand? So that's where we at. Let's figure it out. Let's roll with it. And let's understand that we together are better than me by myself. Carter's Life.